wearing jogging shoes, sweats, and a baseball cap pulled down low to shield his blue eyes from the bright morning sun. The endless sky was empty except for a vulture circling breakfast in the distance. He went over to the garden, picked a few weeds, and watered the neat rows with the sprinkler bucket. Buddy was barking, ready to get it on. "Okay, boy, let's go." They ran into the rugged terrain surrounding the cabin. Buddy leading the way, Ben lagging behind. His body ached from 60 years of life and 30 years of Jim Beam. He soon lost sight of Buddy in the sagebrush, but Ben knew he'd find his four-legged friend at the rock outcropping 2 miles out. And when Ben arrived, Buddy was there, sitting and waiting patiently for him to run up, bend over, and throw up, a morning ritual. Ben spat out the last of the bile and wiped his mouth with a red handkerchief. He took a moment to gather himself. Only his hard breathing broke the silence of the land. All around him stretched the vast solitude that is New Mexico. The Taos Plateau, bordered by the snow-capped peaks of the Sangre de Cristo mountain range rising tall into the blue sky, a land so beautiful and harsh that only an artist or a man running from his past would find it hospitable. To the north was Colorado, to the south Albuquerque, to the west Taos, and to the east the solitary cabin situated on a low rise, the metal roof reflecting the sun. "Beat you back to the cabin, Buddy." Ben ran toward the rising sun, and Buddy gave chase, delighted. This was the fun part. Half an hour later, Ben had cleaned up and was wearing jeans, boots, and a corduroy shirt, eating a granola bar and drinking a cup of coffee brewed from the strongest beans available in Taos. They had come with a money-back guarantee to break through the haze of the worst hangover. He walked outside, past the garden, and to the workshop. Inside, woodworking tools hung on the walls, and what rich people in Santa Fe regarded as fine art in the form of furniture crowded the floor. He pulled a low stool next to the rocking chair he had fashioned out of mesquite, ran his hands along the arms, and began sanding the rough spots. Buddy spun around 3 times, plopped down in the doorway, and settled in for the day. The sound of sandpaper scraping over wood and Buddy's snoring soon joined in a melody of sorts, the only music of Ben Brice's life. The sun's rays now angled low across the workshop floor, the only evidence that another day of his life had passed. Ben laid his tools down, stood, and stretched his back. He walked outside and around to the west side of the cabin porch and sat in his rocking chair, where he would watch the sun melt and the sky over Taos turn orange, where he would listen to the coyotes' lonesome cries, and sometimes he would answer them, where he would remain until the distant city lights dimmed and the night chill set in. His thoughts would then return to the past, always to the past that owned his life like a bank holding a mortgage that would never be paid in full. He would think of the life that might have been, a young man's dreams, the great adventure that was not, the death of the brother he never had, a wife who loved him but left him, and then he would think of his failures, revisiting each one until he arrived at the failure that would forever haunt his nights, and he would reach for the bottle. And so his life would go until one morning he would not answer Buddy. But the day was not yet over and his thoughts not yet there. He whistled and Buddy appeared and bounded up onto the half-sized rocking chair next to his. Ben reached over and scratched Buddy's neck, then ran his fingers over the block letters carved into the seat back. Gracie. 5:47 p.m. 700 miles away, a blonde-haired girl was sprinting down a soccer field in Texas. "Run, Gracie, run!" Gracie and Brice could run like a boy, faster than most boys her age, 10 going on 30, which made playing soccer against girls her own age seem almost unfair. But she was fun to watch, if your daughter was on her team. She was driving the ball up the sideline, past the parents cheering in the stands and Coach Wally wearing a Tornadoes jersey, and her dad filming her with the camcorder. She made a face for the camera while shouting into his cell phone.